Hi, I'm George from Scale Productions, and welcome to my review of the very first Transformers movie. This was actually one of my childhood movies when I first saw it in cinemas. I was 9 years old at the time, and I never really saw a Michael Bay film, so I wasn't really aware of his reputation and what he was actually about. Motherfucking money! I make that dollar, y'all! Motherfucking money! So I never really knew what I was in for when I was watching this movie. And when I did, it was cool. Robots, action, car chases, guys getting pissed on, wait, what? Yeah, despite the fact I was never really critical at the time, there were some things in it I didn't really like as a kid. And this would only become more amplified within the later movies. But in spite of its flaws, does it still hold up when I was a kid? Let's see if it does. So the plot of the movie mainly follows Sam Witwicky, played by Shia LaBeouf, a high school student trying to sell his ancestors' excavation equipment. Amongst the equipment happens to be a pair of glasses imprinted with the coordinates of the Allspark, a large cube-like device capable of turning any machine into a cybernetic organism. As it turns out, two sides of these cybernetic organisms are both fighting for the Allspark. The Decepticons, who plan on using the cube to build an army that will destroy the human race, and the Autobots, who want to stop their nefarious plan and protect humanity. Also caught up in the incident are a group of soldiers who survived an attack on their military base, courtesy of one of the Decepticons, and an analyst attempting to investigate a virus that came courtesy of a Decepticon hacker. So it's up to the Autobots to locate the Allspark and stop the Decepticons from wiping out humanity as a species. One of the main problems with the film is what I like to call the three plots. I mentioned what they were: Sam, the military, and the analyst with Glenn, whom I forgot to mention. I kind of feel that Sam's eventual girlfriend Michaela and Glenn should have been cut out of the film, and I think the analyst should have taken the place of Michaela in Sam's plot. Not only would it limit the amount of human characters, thus allowing more screen time for the Autobots, but it would also mean more development between those two characters. The dialogue is also really cringy. The interactions between Sam and his parents in particular are pretty insufferable, to say the least.
You are so defensive. Were you masturbating?
Judy.
No, Mom!
Zip it, okay?
No, I don't masturbate.
That's not something for you to bring up. That's a father and son thing, okay?
Shut the fuck up!
And a powerful scene where the Autobots are arriving to Earth and finding vehicles to transform into is kind of ruined by a shameless name drop of another Michael Bay film, Armageddon.
This is easily 100 times cooler than Armageddon! I swear to God!
And this random clip.
Excuse me, are you the Tooth Fairy?
Not to mention the countless double entendres that my 9-year-old innocent mind was subjected to.
Like the sextant here.
The what? I missed that. What's it called?
The sextant.
Again, sorry, I missed it. What's it called?
The sextant.
Yeah, but enough of the negative stuff. Let's actually get into the positives. It's my review, I'll do what I want. I can at least say, even though this movie is at least 11 years old, the special effects are still bloody amazing. I mean, it's pretty obvious that the Transformers are CG, but they sort of have to be, and it looks really impressive. There are also many other technical choices that I really love, especially the use of orange and blue within certain shots. Although I do think the lens flare gimmick is really overused. And people give J.J. Abrams shit for his lens flare gimmick. From an action perspective, it has everything that you would expect. Giant robots fighting, explosions, there's a car chase between Bumblebee and Barricade that really excited me as a kid. Pretty Handsome, Awkward by the Use, and Doomsday Clock by Smashing Pumpkins are also pretty badass instrumentally, and they are appropriate for their respective action scenes. On the subject of music, let's not forget that awesome song One I've Done by Linkin Park. R.I.P. Chester Bennington. But one thing that always bothered me as a kid, however, was that the Decepticons kept disappearing throughout the movie. Scorponok shows up for a fight briefly and never returns afterwards, and Barricade disappears before the fight between Optimus Prime and Bone Crusher. Objectively, looking back on this movie, it's pretty flawed, with various character, writing and structural issues, but subjectively, I have a soft spot for it. I loved this movie as a kid. I think if both the human and the Transformers characters both had more time for development and less time spent on
You can call it Sam's happy time.
that, I genuinely think this could have been a fantastic movie. But then again, now that I'm more aware of Michael Bay's reputation, quite frankly, I wasn't surprised. I know this movie isn't perfect, but it could have been a lot worse. How do I know this? Because I watched Transformers Age of Extinction. God, 3 hours of my life wasted. Now, if you excuse me, I'm off to watch Transformers Prime. God, I love that show. See you all later.